So I'm here with Olivia, who is Miss Universe Australia for 2017, and we're in Melbourne, Australia right now. And Olivia and I have just had a great conversation about kind of your journey through this entire experience, but in terms of what you've learned about yourself throughout this entire journey, and kind of the significance of what all these different experiences mean for you in terms of learning about yourself and developing your own character and kind of like establishing the type of person you want to be and clarifying or validating what you already knew before. So I thought it'd be interesting to kind of sit down and kind of have you talk through your story a little bit more.
Yep.
But I'll hand it over to you to introduce yourself because you're going to do it better justice than I can. Right?
All right, am I holding this?
Yes. And we're also apparently coordinated.
Yeah, we're matching.
Yeah.
Black
Unintentionally.
pants too. I got the memo. I am Miss Universe Australia for 2017. My name's Olivia Rogers. I am also a speech pathologist, self-taught artist, my Insta-famous dog's manager. I am one of 5 children.
We can plug your Insta dog at the end. Don't
Yeah,
worry, like
okay.
everybody will be able to see with you. It's fine.
We'll do that. He doesn't need a plug as much as I do,
Yeah,
I think. Nah. What else? Yeah, big family. Love my family, very family orientated. And yeah, that's me.
Yeah, cool. So what I loved about our discussion before, we were talking about this idea of, it becomes a little bit of a cliche when we say like be yourself and like stay true to yourself when, whether it's in your own competition like this, but just in general in life. But what I really found so clear just having a chat with you over the last hour and a half was just how true you were to that. Like you didn't have to put it on. There was no facade. It was like 100% authenticity, right? And so we talked a lot about how that was really powerful for you in terms of your journey through Miss Universe and how that actually made the experience so much easier. So do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. I think for me, going into the competition, I said to them, for one, if you tell me to lose weight, I'm going to quit. And they never did, so here I am. But yeah, I just wanted to go into it and completely be myself and just enjoy the experience. I think I never went in it to win it, and that was probably the point of difference for me and maybe why I did win it, because they could tell that I was just being myself. And yeah, I guess I wanted to use it as a platform to talk about the things that I'm passionate about, and for me it's given me a voice. Well, I've always had a voice, but it's given me I guess a chance to share my voice. And yeah, it's been awesome. I've been nothing but myself, and so for me I never feel pressure to act a certain way or to look a certain way, because I'm just continuing to be me. And you know, no one's telling me what to do or how to do it. Like I'm my own boss, so it's pretty cool. I mean, I've got my management team, but they chose me for me, so you know, they don't tell me to do anything differently. So yeah, it's awesome.
So when you were talking about like the things you're passionate about, right? Like what sort of things did you want the world stage to hear about?
Mental health. I have personally struggled with anxiety and depression, and seen a lot of people around me struggle with it as well. I think as a society we're getting better at talking about it, but there's still so much stigma. And so I think for someone in my position, and you know, a lot of the time with Instagram, like any girls who have a following, younger girls think, oh, her life's so perfect, you know, why can't I look like that all the time, or why aren't I living a life like that, or you know, it's not all real. You know, it's a highlight reel. And I think to show that, you know, someone in my position can have anxiety and depression as well, and then come out of that, and that it's not embarrassing. I think just talking about it and getting rid of the stigma is,
It's normalizing it and just like, it's okay, right?
Yeah, and it's okay to not be okay.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's been my thing. And that and positive body image. I struggled with body image when I was younger, and then I was told to be a certain size for modelling, which was not fun. I was super skinny. I was probably about 12 kilos lighter than I am now, but I don't know because I don't actually ever weigh myself anymore.
She doesn't own a scale at all. Olivia does not own a scale.
Doesn't mean anything. Numbers don't mean anything. But yeah, so I think that too. So being a positive body image spokesperson, I suppose. An advocate for mental health, and I guess an advocate for just being yourself and living life to the fullest.
If somebody was in that position, right? Because obviously it is a sensitive topic, because some people, when they're going through it, like it's hard for them to actually process that, right? I'm sure you've said this to a lot of people. I'm sure that when people see you being open and vulnerable about it, they not only identify with it, but they actually are empowered by it as well, right? In terms of practical things they can actually go about doing, whether they're suffering from anxiety or depression, if they're battling or trying to reconcile this idea of body image in their head, how did you get through it? Like, what would you, if somebody came up to you and said, hey, Olivia, like, I'm going through this right now, what should I do?
Yeah, it is a tough one. I think for me, it was time, and it's my age now too. Like, I'm 25. I didn't have this perspective on my life or myself when I was 21, 22, even 23. Like, it's taken me a while, and it's a lot of life experience and different things that have helped me get to this point. But I think, you know, listening to what your parents say, like, they don't just say it for the sake of saying it, but like taking mum's advice, that it really doesn't matter what you look like. I mean, that's ironic coming from me, because I am, at the end of the day, I won a beauty pageant, but
it's not a pageant though, right?
No, we don't call it a pageant. But you know, it's so much more than that. It's like, it really is what's on the inside that counts. Like, body image, you know, your body changes, your body turns pretty gross when you get older, like, and looks fade. You know, it is what's on the inside that matters.
Any older viewers out there, your body's fine, right? It's just accepting body image, it's fine. It's not
I mean,
gross.
like, when you're like 100,
subjective.
and I'm hoping to get to 100. But yeah, I mean, your body changes. Everything's always changing, and I think you've just got to embrace it and love it for what it is and for what it can do for you. Like, we're so lucky to, those of us who can, you know, use our legs and do all these amazing things with our bodies. And I think, have you ever seen the documentary Embrace?
I haven't.
You should.
I should. And everybody else should.
And everybody else should.
I definitely will.
But she basically talks about her body as being a vessel. You know, it's like, it's getting you to where you want to be. It's letting you do all these amazing things. And you shouldn't be looking at it like an ornament and trying to perfect it and look a certain way, because what's the point? Like, when I was at my skinniest, I was also at my unhappiest. So there's definitely a direct correlation there. You can't be happy when you're not eating. So
yeah, and not to get like too deep, but like in philosophy, like Socrates talks about, like, if you can be unhappy with something, then that something doesn't bring you happiness, right? So if you can be unhappy while you're skinny, becoming skinny won't make you happy.
100%.
Right? And
I think, like, growing up, a lot of my friends and a lot of I think I always thought, like, oh, maybe if I was this size, I would be happier. Or if I looked a certain way, I'd get up in the morning and be like, oh, I look awesome and feel awesome. It doesn't work like that. Like, it's so cliche, but happiness does come from within, and it's not from the way you look or the size you are. It's irrelevant. For sure.
All right, awesome. So the last question I want to ask, which I ask everybody who comes on the Who, is, if you could run back the clock and talk to yourself at the start of the journey. So the start of the journey for you could be anything, right?
Yeah.
Could be Miss Universe, for sure. It also could be when you were younger, right? When you were going through this idea of navigating who you were through your teenage years, whatever that might be for you, your starting point. If you could go back and talk to your former self, what lessons or what things would you say to younger Olivia?
Looking back, I wouldn't change anything that I've done, because I think the experiences that I've had have made me more resilient and have made me the person that I am today. So I wouldn't change anything. But I would definitely tell my younger self that it doesn't matter what people think. You know, you shouldn't change the way you are to please people, because it doesn't matter. I mean, as long as you're being a good person and your friends and family know who you are and care about you, they are the opinions that matter.
Yeah.
So yeah, to not worry about what people think so much, and to also just to be myself. I think growing up, I was like, oh, you know, I'm not sporty enough, or I'm not cool enough, I'm not funny enough, or whatever it is. Like, thinking that I wasn't enough of all these different things. Like, you don't need to be. You need to stop comparing yourselves to other people, because we're all unique, and that's what makes it so cool. Like, life's so much fun because you get to meet so many different amazing people, and if we're all the same, it'd be pretty boring. So yeah, to just be yourself and accept you for you.
Awesome. So that was Olivia Rogers. If everybody wants to go check out a little bit more, whether it's about the stuff you're talking about now, whether it's about your journey, where can they find you on social?
Olivia Molly Rogers is my Instagram.
And the famous
Mushy
yes.
is Malamute Mush. So if you type in MALA, he comes up, because he's the top dog.
He's the top dog. We'll make sure we link all that in the description. So,
Awesome.
Olivia, thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome. See you guys.